Today we're taking a look at these NHL matches, which are happening on Thursday, December 2nd, 2021, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes, let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos. And if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. 5 plans are available for each and every one of you. You can get 30 extra betting picks all the way up to 270 extra betting picks per month. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting advice that ends up costing you a lot of money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks and advice. Chicago Blackhawks vs Washington Capitals. The Chicago Blackhawks are continuing to struggle with their performances this season. There is almost no consistency to their game. This is a lineup full of talent, and yet they are being easily beaten in the standings by much worse teams than them. It's hard to ignore all of the off-ice problems that have been taking place behind the scenes in Chicago and how they may be affecting the team. Our first betting advice is to pick Washington Capitals -1.5 against Florida. The Capitals were destroyed in the third period, erasing all the good work they had in the first 2 periods of play. Washington was outshot 15-12 in the opening period, but took a 2-1 lead to the dressing room after 20 minutes of play. Connor McMichael opened the scoring with his third of the year at 5:52 off assists from Dmitry Orlov and Nick Jensen. Just 11 seconds later, Beck Malenston made it a 2-0 game with his first of the year at 6:03 off assists from Trevor Van Riemsdyk and Brett Leeson. The Capitals gave up a goal less than a minute later to trim their lead. In the second period, Washington held a 13-9 edge in shots on goal and outscored Florida 2-0 to take a 4-1 lead after 2 periods. Lars Eller made it 3-1 with his second of the year at 6:40 off assists from Tom Wilson and Orlov. Jensen extended to a 4-1 lead with his third of the season at 12:40 off assists from Nick Dowd and Carl Hagelin. The third period saw Washington dominated as they were outshot by a 27-2 margin and outscored 4-0, giving up the winning goal with 14.4 seconds to play in regulation to wind up with a loss. Ilya Samsonov made 46 saves for the Capitals, who were outshot 51-27 in the loss. Vitek Vanecek is expected to get the start and goal in this contest. Our second betting advice is to pick under 6. St. Louis Blues vs Tampa Bay Lightning. The offense has led the way for the Blues, but the defense has stepped up as well, allowing 2.77 goals per game. Justin Falk and Torrey Krug have combined for 2.5 defensive point shares and 46 blocked shots, while Marco Scandella, Colton Perico, and Scott Perinovich have combined for 2.0 defensive point shares and 81 blocked shots to add depth to the unit. In addition, goaltender Jordan Binnington has been great in the net this season, with a .912 save percentage and a 2.80 goals against average on 513 shots. Our first betting advice is to pick Tampa Bay. The Tampa Bay Lightning raced out to a very quick 3-0 lead in Game 1, but they just couldn't hold it. Tampa Bay has now lost their last 2 games after winning 6 of their previous 7 games. They are just 5 points out of first in the Atlantic Division, with a 12-9 record overall. Scoring in the loss was Anthony Cirelli, which was his 7th of the year, Corey Perry, which was his 3rd, and Eric Cernak, which was his 1st. Tampa had their 3-0 lead just 5.298 into the game, but the offense was shut down by Binnington after that. The Bolts are still looking for their first ever win over Binnington, who is now 5-0 against them. Our second betting advice is to pick under 5.5. Quick reminder, BetUS is a platform that offers betting on all major sport and horse racing leagues. It has slots, table games, blackjack, and a variety of other casino games. All of the major US leagues are available for betting, including the NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB, and PGA. In addition, BetUS allows wagers on esports, Olympic events, soccer, cricket, boxing, cycling, and many more competitions. Join BetUS now using our link down below and get 125% cashback bonus on your first deposit on the sportsbook after you open an account and deposit using our link and use our promo code HIGHSTAKES. Buffalo Sabres vs Florida Panthers. The offense has struggled, but the defense is one of the worst in the NHL, allowing 3.50 goals per game. Colin Miller and Mark Pysyk have combined for 2.3 defensive point shares and 61 blocked shots, but the rest of the defensive unit has struggled and is allowing opponents to find shots on the net at will. In addition, goaltender Dustin Tokarski has struggled as the starter with a .903 save percentage and a 3.28 goals against average on 433 shots. Our first betting advice is to pick Florida Panthers -1.5 against Washington. Florida played dismal hockey for 2 periods before putting together a dominant third period to earn the come-from-behind victory. In the opening period, the Panthers held a 15-12 advantage in shots on goal, but trailed 2-1 after 20 minutes of play. Florida gave up 2 goals in 11 seconds to trail early before Joe Thornton scored his second of the season at 6:55 off assists from Jonathan Huberdeau and Aaron Ekblad. The second period saw the Panthers outshot 13-9 and outscored 2-0 to trail 4-1 after 2 periods of action. In the third period, Florida owned a commanding 27-2 edge in shots on goal and outscored Washington 4-0 to rally for the victory. Ryan Lomberg made it a 4-2 game with his second of the year at 3:23 off assists from Patrick Hornqvist and Eetu Luostarinen. Luostarinen made it a 4-3 game with his 7th of the year, shorthanded, at 6:09 off assists from Lomberg and Mackenzie Weegar. Sam Bennett tied the game with a power play tally, his 8th of the season, at 12:01 off assists from Huberdeau and Ekblad. Sam Reinhart scored the winner with his 5th of the year on the power play at 19:45, with assists going to Ekblad and Huberdeau. Sergei Bobrovsky made 23 saves for the Panthers, who owned a 51-27 advantage in shots on goal in the victory. He's expected to get the start and goal again here. Our second betting advice is to pick over 6. Ottawa Senators vs Carolina Hurricanes. The Senators are off to a slow start to the season with the offense only scoring 2.42 goals per game. Drake Batherson and Joshua Norris have combined for 15 goals and 14 assists, while Brady Tkachuk and Connor Brown have combined for 8 goals and 13 assists, but the rest of the forward unit has struggled. Only 6 skaters have scored 4 goals or more, and opposing offenses can eliminate the top-heavy offense as a result. The Hurricanes have one of the best records in the NHL, led by an offense that is scoring 3.19 goals per game. Sebastian Aho and Andrei Svechnikov have combined for 18 goals and 22 assists, while Jesper Fast and Jesperi Kotkaniemi have combined for 12 goals and 4 assists, but the back end of the forward unit has stepped up as well. Vincent Trocheck, Martin Necas, and Teuvo Teravainen have combined for 11 goals and 28 assists, while defenseman Anthony DeAngelo has added 4 goals and 15 assists from the point to open up the Hurricanes' offense. Our first betting advice is to pick Carolina Hurricanes -1.5. The Hurricanes followed up their win over Philadelphia by losing their last 2 games. They will try to put an end to their losing streak with a win over the Senators, which will give them their 6th win in their last 10 games. The Senators aren't playing well, and they've lost 11 of their last 12 games. They will try to turn things around with a win over the Hurricanes, which will give them their 2nd win in their last 7 games. Our second betting advice is to pick under 6.